Hello, everyone. Loremaster of Sotek here, back with Great Book of Grudges. And it's been a few weeks due to me sleeping a lot, but we also had some emergencies that came up a little ways back that has kept us busy for a bit. But the good news is we are here right at the end of the finish line for Immortal Empires. There's a lot to talk about because we haven't been around for a little bit. So we're not really going to waste too much time. I will make a quick note that we are not going to do Tale of Two Gamers today, just due to some stuff that's going on in the backgrounds. That being said, we're going to try and maybe do like a special episode, maybe sometime before next Sunday or at some point in the next week or so, where we will like just do that and just talk about painting and all that jazz. So for those people that really enjoy that aspect of the podcast, there we go. I was like, what's the word I'm looking for? Please look forward to that. But in any event, Nathan, how you doing, man?
Tired, very tired. I've been playing a lot. I think I've streamed more in this like 8 days than I have in the whole year.
Yep.
I feel the need to sleep. There's still a few days to go.
Yeah, my sleep schedule is completely wrecked. It is it is swerved off the road in a ditch on fire. I slept a lot yesterday, and as last night I just could not I just could not sleep for the life of me. But I'm in very much the same boat, just trying to limp my way to once we get just gotta get the 23rd. We're almost there. Just a little more. But there is a lot of really cool things to talk about. Real quick before we get into the really good heavy stuff with Immortal Empires, there are a couple of minor things more on the hobby side of things that I do want to kind of just point out and talk about briefly, just because we might as well. So I, for one, am very, very excited about all of the news that's been coming out about Warcry. It's looking really, really good. So they've announced that they've started basically a new season, I guess, if you want to call it that, but it's essentially kind of a relaunch for Warcry. But on top of the relaunch, which has the new Nurgle Warband and the Horns of Hashut, they have also announced that they're going to be releasing every quarter a new box that's going to come with 2 new warbands and kind of like a scenario situation. I think they also said it's new terrain every quarter as well. But it looks like they're going to be putting out a lot of stuff, and they finally announced that Warcry is no longer purely going to be about chaos, so that's really good. As much as I loved Warcry, I did not like that it was just Chaos Boys and nobody else. It was very pigeonholed. But now they're finally really leaning into expanding into other races, and they've actually already revealed that one of the 2 warbands in the next set is going to be Seraphon or Lizardman, which I am very, very excited about. We've gotten a little sneak peek at a new Chameleon Skink model, which looks absolutely fantastic. So I'm really, really hoping this is going to be the warbands. Usually have a pretty decent amount of models, usually somewhere between I think depending on the warband, it's usually somewhere between like 6 to 12 or something like that. But I'm very much hoping we get a lot of new goodies for the Seraphon. The last time we got some new Seraphon minis was for Underworlds, which was great. Unfortunately, it was kind of stuff that we already have in spades for the most part. Like it was 1 new Chameleon Skink who was really, really cool looking, 3 skinks, and one of which was kind of more of a skink priest who was very cool looking, and then a Source Old Blood, which, like, we have so many Source Old Blood minis. Please, no more Source Old Bloods. I don't need any more Source characters. I need, like, anything else, because we already have so many Old Blood minis. But, that being said, I'm really excited to see where the game's going to go. I don't know if I'll ever play Warcry again, but at the very least, like, new minis is always a good thing. I'm curious who the warband they'll be facing up against is.
It's interesting that they're following the same format that Kill Team now has, the new box set every 3 months. As long as it keeps to a decent pricing, it's fine. I don't know. Like, the terrain has always been good. Like, I must admit, I got myself the new box because I'm working on a Mordheim board, and I kind of wanted those meat trees for a little bit of kit bashing because I'm going to make a 4x4 table. And it's like, oof, like I can't say no to those types of terrain pieces. There's something so special about how GW is actually making terrain now. It's not like I come from the era, like you do too. You remember just the plastic foundations and then the cardboard cutouts, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Those are definitely the days. Yeah, there were like super brief periods back in fantasy when they would release little terrain things, but like you really had to make your own stuff the vast majority of the time. Like, we're kind of spoiled nowadays. Like, if you really want, you could pretty easily get an entire game table's worth of terrain by just kind of shopping around the different game styles, which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's great. I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with that. Beyond that, as far as like AOS goes, there's a new box set coming out for the Lumineth Realm Lords versus Disciples of Tzeentch. Both factions are going to be getting new books, and each are also getting a new character. Well, the Lumineth is like a legitimately new character, even though her role seems to be very similar to a character they already have. And the Tzeentch character is a new model for the Curseling, the Curseling is basically a generic village. But the new Curseling is very different looking. It is not even remote. It's very offshoot from village. Now it looks more like a big chaos warrior with a weird little baby alien coming out of him, as opposed to the fully grown tumor creature that village is with all the feathers and everything. I think personally I preferred the old model, but I think the new model looks better. Like, it is a better model, but I am sad that it is so far removed from village. Like, I couldn't use that many and be like, I'm subbing this in for village for fantasy.
Yeah.
It wouldn't feel right, because it looks a little weird. That being said, it is good news that those factions are going to be getting some new books. From what I've been hearing and kind of seeing, it's looking like both those armies are probably going to get slapped with some nerfs, but as far as I'm concerned, they deserve it because I didn't like playing either of them. So they can deal with it as far as I'm concerned. But
So,
oh yeah,
as
go ahead.
far as I've seen, because someone who already had early access confirmed to me, for those wondering, Village does fit on a 25 mil base.
The new village, yeah. He'd make like a really cool I think he'd make a really good like anything of Tzeentch, like Chaos Sorcerer Lord or Chaos Lord or whatever. Yeah, he'd be perfect for just a nice generic character. But beyond that, I haven't really been keeping up too much with what's been going on with 40k. I think I've heard the new Demons book is about to come out.
Yeah, Demons are getting freaking tasty. To the point that I actually might play Demons in 40k. Like, they've got like just stronger ward saves now. They actually feel like metaphysical demons rather than, oh, you're just playing little filler units that you can summon in with your god specific 40k Chaos Space Marine armies. So
oh yeah, I heard
really
they have
nice.
like a super invuln on top of, which is just, it's such a stupid phrase. Like, why is it an invuln if there's a better version?
So they call it demon saves, and it's just super tasty. So I really like it. I was looking for a reason to get back to 40k because they did say that we have to still wait and be patient for Emperor's Children. But now it's looking like I could probably just play demons until I wait, until the time comes,
Yeah, that sounds decent. World, they haven't where are they at as far as release? Like, 40k keeps throwing me for a loop because they're showing so much stuff in advance. So like, they're about to release the Demons book, but we're still waiting on World Eaters and the Leagues of Voltan, right? Or Votan, whatever. Space Dwarfs.
Yeah, well, the issue is that as we are aware, GW love to announce something and then they take their sweet ass time. It's like what happened with the Sisters of Battle, where they announced it and then it took 2 years. I'm imagining that the Leagues of Votan, considering how quickly they're showing stuff, will only take will be at some point this year or at least early next. but like I don't know, like we're almost done with all the reveals for the demons, I think, with all the teasers. So it's likely that the Demons Codex will come out next month, unless they've already announced it, which I haven't been keeping up because they post way too much stuff on Warhammer Community. It's like what, 5 posts a day or something?
Yeah, it's definitely kind of oversaturated at the moment.
Yeah.
But and like, because not everything is like relevant. Sometimes it's just kind of like random articles.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, it's like we've got like Warcry, Horus Heresy, 40k, Age of Sigmar. Like there's a lot going on right now. But at the same time, when I really think about it, nothing's really come out for the last couple months. Like I know we've kind of been busy up the Total War river, but like unless I'm crazy, I don't think they've really released anything notable for weeks. Which is a little odd. It seems like they've slowed down a bit.
They've been doing weekly releases more or less for 30K. I guess that's like what's taking priority at the moment.
Maybe that's what it's been. It's just been pure 30k stuff, which I could not. There's literally nothing on this earth I could care less about than 30k.
I'm excited. I'm actually really excited for 30K. It's one of those things that I kind of like the idea that a lot of stuff is plastic now, which I'm really, really happy. They have also. Oh, someone's just confirmed here. The pre-order will likely be next week for Demons. So yeah, that's all right. Demons will be pretty tasty. But they've also announced a big thing for Middle-earth Strategy Battle, which I was really surprised about. A new edition?
Yeah, did you watch that? Did you check out that show?
No, I've not checked out the show.
No. Like, I mean the reveal show they did for the new Lord of the Rings stuff.
Yeah, I did watch it. I didn't stream it because I wasn't at home. But there's like new miniatures. They're looking really, really cool. The Battle of Pelennor Fields box has been taken out of rotation, which is a shame because I think that was one of the best boxes they've ever had. And I'm talking about the history of like Games Workshop. That was just so much value for money.
Wow.
It's been replaced, unfortunately, for the Battle of Skiliath, which still looks pretty hype, I must say. It's still a really big box. A little less on miniatures, but you get a bit more terrain. I think the box, it's a lot of stuff that we've already had. I think the Goth model is new, though. But a lot of the stuff is pretty old miniatures, like the Mordor Troll and the Orcs are a kit that I think was released when I was a teenager. Same thing as the Minister of Guardsmen, and even I'm not too sure about the Rangers of Ithilien, but
so what's the big new push? Is there like a new edition or something?
yeah, they're going in for a new edition, which kind of worries me, in all honesty. Mostly because Middle-earth Strategy Battle is by far the most balanced game that GW have ever had. Like, it has always been really, really good. So I always get worried that a new edition might just GW it up, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about getting into that game. I actually really like some of the more recent. I think it was like the last year, or the last 2 years, they revealed a lot of the new like Herodrim stuff, and the new Easterlings, and like the new Easterlings were super badass looking. Where it's like they revealed like the Dragon Emperor and all these other like special characters, and I was like, these guys look kind of sick.
Yeah, like the soldiers from Rune are just fucking gorgeous. There's something about the evil humans that they do the design so fucking well. I just can't. I really need to get back into it. You know, I've got 5 Oliphants. It's like I had a bigger Haradrim on me.
So Gladboy in chat says it's not so much a new addition as it is a. He says it's more of it's more like the current rules being rewritten to like include all of the updates and FAQs they've made over the years.
Oh, if they're keeping the same format, that's good. As long as it's not like, because like we all know as Warhammer fans, anytime like a new edition gets announced, it's scary for us. It's very scary.
But yeah, but like a lot of the models look cool. I kind of wish there was more like, I wish there was kind of more of like a actual dragon. Like I think Smog is, I don't know if he's technically playable or if he's exclusive to the Hobbit game. But it's like, you know, the model's like practically like solid down payment on a new car level
Yeah,
price.
he's about £500, I think.
Yeah, something like that. He's like, I think he's one of the most expensive models they have. I don't even know if he's still in print. I think he might have actually gone out.
He is.
Yeah, but it's like there's a part of my brain that's like, I mean, if Smog's playable, just being able to show up to a game and be like, fucking giant dragon, fight me.
He is £418, but he's apparently one of the largest miniatures they've ever released. Like,
yeah, I think I think only that corn dragon character was bigger. I think.
Yeah, the base is, let me see, 9.2 inches long and 5.4 inches wide.
Man, that's where you use a regular spray can instead of the little detail one to paint your mini.
It's insane.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, part of me's thought about getting into it. I still remember how good the Balrog model is, though. I don't know if they've updated it, but I still remember when it came out back in the mid 2000s or whatever it was. That was a damn great model.
They barely update the miniatures, but to be fair, the cats are freaking gorgeous. Like I said, I run Haradrim a lot. I've got a big Urukai army, which I don't think has been updated since I was a teenager. But there's something just so special about them.
Well, I think the vast majority of the Lord of the Ring minis have always looked good.
Yeah,
like they just
top tier cast.
Yeah, they just do a really nice job with them. So I think that's pretty much everything from GW. But you know, there's stuff going on there. I do hope to see some more book releases outside of. I think you're right. This summer was kind of taken hostage by Horus Heresy, but it is presumably making absolute shitloads of cash because a lot of people are really into that game. So you know, good for them. I know a lot of them. I've been seeing Valrak fucking screaming to the heavens every time they announce a new plastic kit. So
yeah. Launch week, I couldn't scroll down Twitter without seeing 50 million posts about freaking just 30k. I was just scrolling down and I could see nobody else's posts. I couldn't see Total War stuff. I couldn't see anything else. It was just literally 30k, 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 30k. And it's exciting because the edition's cool.
Yeah.
But it's like, goddamn, that was a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I need to order that. Yeah, they're also re-releasing the Witch Hunters guidebook, but the new version of it looks really sexy. I definitely want to get me a copy of that because that's actually one of the few books I don't own. So definitely want to get a copy of that.
I'm a little concerned about that book.
Why?
You've never read the original?
No, I just said I don't own a copy.
Right, no, because you can still find it online. That's why.
Yeah, I've never read it.
So the original book had a lot of mentions to stuff which is not canon anymore. I really hope that's not getting removed because there's loads of mention of Solkan and Lumineth in that book.
I highly doubt they've edited it. I don't know if you've read any of their recent releases, but like I've got what is it called? Undeath Ascendant, which is like two of the books in it are old as fuck. And they didn't update them at all, even though they're like not even remotely canon.
Right.
Like,
no, it's just because
so I doubt they changed it.
Yeah, no, it's just because obviously there's a bit of a copyright issue with those that kind of falls around the same thing of Malal. That's the thing.
Well, I know Solkon's still canon because like we've got new lore about him in the RPG system.
Yeah. But like, I really want to. I hope the book's the same. I just want to reprint because like my one's pretty old now, because I had the original which was gifted to me. But like I want the old lore, and I've been hyping up the book to a lot of people. It'll be a shame if we lose that type of stuff, you know?
Yeah, I would be absolutely shocked if they changed anything because like, yeah, like I said, a lot of their more recent omnibuy where they've just been like combining books that vaguely share a theme, have been total like. They're the exact same, which is good. But like the Undeath Ascendant book cracked me up because it literally is like about the return of Ushoran, and he goes on to murder the Elector Count of Averland, who is never named. And you're like, a lot of these events don't make sense in the modern canon, but okay. But anyway, yeah, I'm excited for
I,
that book.
I wonder if the new print also keeps the same old spelling mistakes, because there were spelling mistakes for that book originally.
Knowing GW, I bet they didn't change a damn thing. They probably didn't even read it. They probably just had somebody like had an intern just be like, hey, just copy paste this and make sure the font's the same size. Other than that, you don't have to do anything. This is like, oh great. And we'll charge $30 for it to make a killing. I mean, I'm just happy they're reprinting the books. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
if I were GW at this point, the only other thing they haven't started doing that I would pay so much money for, because it would be so awesome, is if they came out and because like, you know, you can kind of get some of the old white dwarfs through Warhammer Plus, and you can get and like they're slowly adding more there. So, a lot of the like end times books are being added that way. What I would love to see though is, could you imagine if they would release like large hardback, or they could be softback, but like large compendiums that had like entire editions worth of army books. So like they just like, here's first edition, just has all like the rules and stuff, and then it's like, here's fifth edition, and it's just all the army books combined into a single big book that you could just like easily go through. That would be so good. Like I'd buy the shit out of those. Like charge me like, I don't know, charge me like $50 for a softback book that's like, you know, maybe relatively around the size of like a good magazine, and it's like, just make it out of cheap material. It doesn't have to be cool. And it just has like all the 8th edition army books in it. Like that would be, people would love that.
So I haven't used Warhammer Plus because, well, obvious reasons.
Neither have I, but yeah.
But I heard that the white dwarfs and stuff that they do introduce, they just remove the rules for everything.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, honestly, it's fucking stupid, because we're getting a white dwarfs that maybe we wouldn't be able to pick up. Like I'm still collecting the white dwarf, and I'm going like I'm having to pay a stupid amount of money to find like really bad conditioned prints. But
oh yeah, I've been on similar adventures. I've got like a stack behind me of old ones that I've been buying.
Yeah, and it's like, if they could just release them again, it would be nice. Or even if it was Warhammer Plus, just so I could read specific rules that I might want to see for if I'm playing a 6th edition game and someone wants to use a character.
Well,
if I want,
if I want to use those rules in my home games, why they shouldn't give a fuck? Who cares?
Exactly,
like,
and they can make money.
It's not like they're turning illegal, you know. It's like, who gives a fart?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That being said,
yeah.
it's I've actually wanted to have a little discussion about this. It's been a while since we had Old World news, hasn't it?
Yeah, we haven't had a peep in, I think it's been at least what, 6 months?
Yeah, I think so. Let me search the website. My cat is being annoying today. Can you not go in front of the can you not go in front of the screen, cat, please?
Says no. Zach? I know where you're looking.
Everyone say hello to Zach.
Oh, kitty. Your cat looks like he just does not care about anything.
He doesn't. He generally doesn't.
Man, so when I was on vacation a few weeks back, my buddy, we were staying at his place, and he has a cat named Kebab. Kebab was just like the biggest attention whore of a cat I've ever met in my life. Like, just wants to be like, if you even so much as looked vaguely in his direction or made the slightest noise, he would just run over and be like, pet me, damn it. You could just pick him up and like scratch his stomach and shit. Didn't care at all. It's like a golden retriever accidentally got put in a cat's body.
This is insane. You search for Old World, and since they don't have a proper
their search function is awful.
What a horrible website. More games. Yeah, right. It's probably been like, it's definitely been like for,
I want to say it, the last piece of news we got was like in March or February, but
yeah, because that's when they confirmed Cafe, which is like, we already knew, you know.
Yeah, it was like the least exciting bit of news. Yeah,
horrible.
It's like, to be like, I'll say it would have been way more exciting if they had been like, look at like all 5 of the dragon kids are confirmed, like any kind of new character, but it was literally just Miao Ying and Zhao Ming, and they were like, that's all you get. It's like, there's nothing juicy here, not a damn thing. Immortal Empires has more juicy Cathay news than the damn Old World update.
Well, they did kind of confirm Hobgoblin Carnates having a vast amount of territory, because they had the Hobgoblin Carnate logo there, which is right above the Great Bastion.
I don't care until they give me a character or faction name or show me a picture. Got to show me a picture.
I'm more like curious, because if you go to the Kislev reveal, it goes to the Hobgoblin Carnate more or less has a logo there too, more or less near their borders, right before the Darklands. So it's like they have a lot of territory.
Yeah, I mean, they should be controlling the entirety of the Eastern Steppes at this point, which is like huge, because it's everything north of Cathay, all the way across the World's Edge Mountains to the Zornu's Ghoul. I mean, that's just a damn impressive amount of territory.
Well, goblins especially, it's just like, holy crap, you know.
Yeah, I really hope they go ham with the hobgoblins. If I don't get like a moving tent city model for like a big character, I'm gonna be upset.
I've recently been painting up my hobgoblin miniatures because I finally found my Khan miniature from the Tamukan book, and it's like, they looked really, really good. It's a shame that they were never viable, you know?
Well, I mean, we never really got like true hobgoblins. We only got pretender slave hobgoblins, really.
Yeah, that's true. The Khan looks fucking amazing, though.
Yeah, I really, really hope we're gonna get an actual hobgoblin con, or like a great con. But anyway, outside of that, the only other major pieces of news, I believe Cubicle 7's getting pretty close to releasing the Sea of Claws, Sea of Chaos. I think it's the Sea of Claws.
Sea of Claws, yeah, I'm quite hyped up for that, because
that's gonna be a very exciting expansion. They've been killing it. If anyone listening, listen, I don't know if anyone at Cubicle 7 ever listens to our crap, but if they do,
they do.
Like, you know, we'd love to sponsor you guys on Lorebeards. I'm just saying. But, we'd love for you to sponsor us. There we go. I'm sorry, we can't afford you guys. But could you imagine, like, listen to Lorebeards just like in the back of the book randomly? But anyway, but yeah, the Salzenmund was the most recent published book, and it was incredible. Salzenmund had so many amazing details. We got a ton of great stuff on the Blue Scribes. We got Egram von Horseman, and we got we got the Doom Lord of Middenheim or Midland. Oh god, I'm drawing a blank. The guy we should have had instead of Gorst. Chaos Necromancer. Rides a Manicore. What's his name?
Oh my god, you're killing me. He has a really cool model.
Somebody in chat will remember.
Yeah.
I have a funny anecdote about him and his Cubicle 7 rules. Come on, chat. Dieter Hellschnitt?
Yeah, Hellschnitt, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, Dieter Hellschnitt, yeah. But so he returns, and he got a lot of really cool updates, and his artwork looks really good. But so funny thing I noticed about him, Nathan, that actually made me laugh is I was talking to my GM for my Sunday games about his profile, because he was talking about how he was thinking about using him as a boss in another campaign, and he's like, but he doesn't really seem that strong. So I was like, all right, I'll go look at his original tabletop profile, and it's like, it's pretty 1-to-1. Like, he wasn't insanely overpowered. He was like relatively balanced, except he had that Rod of Flaming Death, which he could spam every magic phase for just crazy amounts of bonus damage. And I actually went and read his Cubicle 7 profile, and they actually debuffed him because in the Cubicle 7 profile, I believe they changed it so that the Rod of Flaming Death, instead of being able to be used like whatever the equivalent of every magic phase would be, I think he can only use it like once per day. And it's like, oh no, like that should be like 6 times per day. But like it's so scary. But it was really cool to see him get updated lore. And they also have some Festus the Leech Lord goodies in there, which I know you did a video about. Kind of talk about like what he's up to.
Yeah, I quite liked it because it brought in a bit more lore for him. Let's be honest, the character mostly went unknown by GW for a lot of times. We did get some cool lore during the end times for him, but I rather just not acknowledge the existence of the end times. So it was quite nice, you know, the whole hospice thing, having a network of hospice, his own cult too. That I thought that was pretty cool because they still are practicing doctors. I honestly, there's something about the Cubicle 7 writers, and I've told them personally when I've last spoken to them, it's like they've really kept like adding a lot of flavor to characters that we just basically know nothing about, and I thought that was really fucking cool.
Yeah, I've absolutely loved their work. They've been doing absolutely incredible jobs. Salzamund also does a really nice job on expanding a lot of really cool stories about Salzamund and how Nordland secedes away from being a part of I think it was originally part of the Midland province, and it broke into its own. So it has like it has a lot of really cool stuff there. And you even learn about the Ghost Council, which is really cool piece of lore, especially because it has this really hilarious implied history with the elves of Lorelorn, and it seems that like they tried to kind of do something along the lines of what the elves of Athaloran did to Bretonia, but it didn't work right, which I find very hilarious. But yeah, great books. And so Sea of Claws should be out, I think, sometime this year. If I recall,
yeah, they said they were planning for this year. Yeah,
and then they have some probably the most anticipated time for fantasy fans is the books that are going to be following up, because basically, so what they've been doing that's very, very clever is they've been releasing their books intentionally in an order where, as you collect the books, if you've never touched Warhammer Fantasy in your life, every book just kind of adds a new piece of the world, or like a lot of new details, and it's basically leading you on a very specific path. So it's like the first, you kind of got like the Empire and Chaos series, which runs you around mostly the Reichland province, but like it runs you around the Empire a bit. And then they added Altdorf, which gave you a lot more details on the capital. And then they added Middenheim, so you go north and you get a lot more details on Middenheim. And then they added like the Altdorf Zoo, which gives you a lot of big monsters and tells you more about the wider world. And then they did Salzamund, which took us even further north to a port. And now they're doing the Sea of Claws, so now we're going out into the ocean. And we're getting a bunch of like new ocean lore. And then next after that is Lustria, and I'm so excited. There has never, ever been a full Lustria RPG book. There's been like some little supplementary type adventures, like single drops, but they've never done a full expansion for the new world. And I am so excited. I'm so excited. And we don't know what books are coming after that, but I think they announced that like Lustria is like the first of like 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
That are going to be taking that are going to be taking us really exotic places. If I had to guess, I would bet a lot of money that Ulthuan is one of those as well, because I know the creators of Cubicle 7 really wanted to do an Ulthuan expansion. But Lustria is going to be absolutely fantastic. I cannot wait to see it. I really hope it comes with playable Lizardman rules. I don't know, like, because they've been pretty good about like giving you playable things that you may never use. Like Rough Days and Hard Nights gave us playable gnomes, and then Archives of the Empire Volume 2 gave us playable ogres, and like they even broke it down to where you could be a Mountains of Morn ogre, or you could be an ogre from like one of the human lands, which is really cool, and like you get different rules and all that kind of stuff. But very, very excited to see what they're gonna do with all of the with their books. It's gonna be very exciting.
I am. I know you're really hyped up for Lustria, because obviously I think the last time we had anything on Lustria was what, 2nd edition? Probably second.
outside of army books, yeah.
Yeah, I mean like Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay.
Oh, well, yeah, and even in second, it didn't have any kind of like purchasable book. I think they maybe had like a single adventure that added some stuff, but there were never any like Lizardman rules in second edition.
Yeah, I'm actually really hyped up, more surprising, for Sea of Claws, mostly because they always do really well expanding on like monsters and stuff. It's like where we found out that the Dreadmore now belongs to Koresh and all that. And if you remember from the days of Manowar, right? There's always big monsters in these oceans. So I really want to find out what the fuck is going on, like with the big shark, you know, the giant krakens.
Oh yeah,
I really hope this book has like a lot of that, because I am so excited. And maybe obviously some Norscan lore, because the Sea of Claws is so important to Norsca.
No, you're thinking too small, dude. What we really need is Fishman lore. There's a Fishman reference in the Salzman book.
There's
a guy that talks about Fishman in it. So like, oh god, please do it, Cubicle 7, you crazy bastards.
I just remember because like with Manowar, with all the big monsters, and even then the Manowar game, the video game that unfortunately got the license revoked by GW, that one had like,
which is
the big
weird.
Sharks and stuff.
That is super weird. GW did that. They never do that.
Yeah, it is super strange. Like I was always really curious. I did a video on it, like because I think that happened like a year, 2 years ago.
It was I think it was 2 years ago. Because I remember that because they were actually like steadily releasing pretty good DLCs, and then GW pulled the license, which like GW has so many shit games out there, it's not even funny, and they never pull the licenses. Like they just don't do that.
From what I saw, Manowar Corsair, here we go.
You're like, you can't even buy it anymore.
It's taken out completely. It's got 2 DLCs, which is the Fledgling Griffin and Reichland Fashion. And I had a pretty good amount of time on that.
Sorry, I should say free LC, not DLC. They added a lot of like new features as the game was going.
The last patch was good. The last patch was really good. But from what I saw, because he did a post about it, because he started working on a second game called Victory at Sea Pacific, and completely started ignoring Manowar, which is a shame. As I honestly thought, as the patches were getting out, like when you started being able to play as a Chaos Warrior, that was so fun.
Yeah,
it's a shame. It's just a shame because like the maps were gorgeous. The sharks were just incredibly done, because you would always feel anxious when you started off a campaign and you started going into, say for example, because you normally started around Nordland and you wanted to do those quests in Kislev first. You'd always feel really anxious when a big shark would just appear.
Oh, you know? I love the boss monsters. Like the shark was super fun. The sea dragon was great. The black leviathan, fucking terrifying. Genuinely terrifying. Never killed one. I never managed to kill one because they literally one-shot you if they catch you. They instantly kill you.
And you know what the biggest shame was? They had almost all the races in game already, because multiplayer allowed for all those races. You could play as a dwarf, you could play as a Skaven. Like they were slowly getting into their hell. They even had like working Chaos Spawn and Beastmen and stuff. It's like, oh man, just a few more patches would have made this game amazing.
Yeah, I do wish the game had been a little bit prettier, because I think it would have done better at attracting like a general audience. I think a lot of people struggled getting past the graphics, but like the game itself was super fun. I actually put in quite a few hours on Manowar Corsair.
I had a big fleet. I was doing a campaign where I was playing as Chaos, which was just really fun because obviously you couldn't go to most of the ports and everything was just like, it was just so fun and hectic. But I slowly built up a really big fleet of Tzeentchian warriors, because obviously you could get the flying castles and stuff. It's like so cool.
It was crazy how like deep the game's features could get, as far as like you'd have a wizard on your ship, and there was a combat system when your ship got attacked. There were a lot of different kinds of like guns and war machines. There were flying characters that you could have protecting your ship or attacking your ship, including that goddamn piece of garbage wyvern that drops squigs on your ship. I hated that thing. But yeah, it was a fun game.
It's a shame
what happened to it.
Yeah.
But I wonder, I wonder if GW is like going to be doing something with the Man of War license since they revoked it.
I don't know. I mean, I would love if, like in Old World, we saw a return of a lot of different, just a lot of different things. Man of War would be a great game, and then if they do a video game with it, it would just kind of be nice to kind of like cross promote. Because GW have been learning that video games are great ways of cross promoting. I just, I don't know. It's super weird. Let me see if I can find his statement because he did do a statement, didn't he?
Yeah, he put something out, but I didn't see anything that really like caught me out as like, oh, that's interesting. It was all just kind of like, oh, that's a shame.
It's just like there's so much that this could have just been. This could have been really, really special. Like this could have been our black flag in a sense, right?
Yeah, well, it's just weird that it was GW that pulled the plug, because normally it's like the devs stop supporting and they just never touch it again, like Mordheim. Where like Mordheim's a super fun game, but the devs just stopped working on it.
They stopped working on Necromunda too.
Yeah, that does seem to be a pretty notable hat trick of theirs. But maybe the new. Oh yeah, so what have you thought about the? Do you have any ideas about the game Creative Assemblies announced that they're looking for people, the third-person FPS for Warhammer?
Yeah, because they said because it's apparently that the new game isn't hyenas. This is something completely new.
Yeah, well, apparently it's like I'm not sure of the specifics, but apparently it's Warhammer related. Because they, in their looking for like hires, they specify that like having Warhammer knowledge is a notable bonus.
Could you imagine like Alien Isolation style Guardsman game?
Maybe, I don't know. I feel like they wouldn't want to start with a 40k game and it not be like 40k Total War, because I feel like it would just, I don't know, maybe. Like it could be.
Did you play Alien Isolation though? Like that was amazing.
I've never played it myself, but I know it's incredibly popular and like very well beloved.
Bro, you need to fucking play it. The AI is top notch, and this is talking about CA, right? Like holy shit, the AI is amazing. They actually programmed two different AIs for that same creature.
Where's which studio made it? Within CA. Because there's I struggle to believe it was their British studio that made it.
Alien Isolation. Because dude, it is amazing. You definitely need to play it. I shit you not. Like, hands down, one of the games that gives me like not only does it give me real anxiety, like it is just so like it is peak horror. It is peak fucking horror, man. It is so good.
That's not something I need in my life.
Oh, dude, it's just because the AI is so well done. I am just absolutely overwhelmed with the fact that it was just really good. It just says developed by Creative Assembly. It doesn't say which team.
Yeah.
It's so good. Honestly, it's just amazing.
Someday I'll get around to it. I just sci-fi is just not my cup of tea.
Oh, dude, it's so fucking good. I shit you not. It's so good. Like I replay it every now and then. When I want a good scare, I replay that game.
But anyway, will be interesting to see what they do with that. I hope it's a fantasy game. It's probably a 40k game, but it'd be cool if it was fantasy. But
more than likely 40k, because 40k makes the most money, you know.
I know, but I just don't fucking care about it. it's garbage to me. It's I don't want it. It's like it just steals the attention from my actual favorite child. But that being said, it'll be interesting to see what they do with it. I'm always happy to see CA do well, because that just means more money for more Total War Warhammer 3 DLCs. But
in general, they've been doing all right. I'm trying to find that post. When did they do that statement?
I don't know. It was whenever the game died, which was years ago.
No, I mean the statement recently.
It was like last week, or I don't know. I like briefly looked at it, and then people in chat were like, oh, did you catch that they like said this and this? And I was like, I'll sure. Whatever you say, man.
I'm really excited to see what they're doing. To be honest, I'm curious about hyenas. I want to see what that is too.
Yeah, well, I mean, CA in the vast majority of cases makes good stuff, so it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah.
But enough on all that. I think that's everything that we could possibly be interested in talking about outside of Immortal Empires. So let's talk Immortal Empires. We have been building up to it for a hot while. I think you and I have been both focused very heavily on showing off just a metric ton of content. But so we're not able to give a review-like statement today, so we're not going to do that. But what we can do is discuss how we're feeling about it as far as like having fun and like features that have really stood out to us, or notable issues and stuff like that. We just, know like what out of 5 or any of that crap. But so with that kind of in mind, how have you been enjoying Immortal Empires?
I've been having a lot of fun. I've been streaming it a lot. I normally stream 2 to 3 hours, sometimes 4 in normal cases, but I've been doing 8 to 10 hours on streams for Immortal Empires because I've been enjoying myself. It's nice to, just chill and just try and destroy the world. It's been giving me loads of ideas for content.
Yeah,
like it's a big map. It's a very big map. Even with a 10-hour stream, I don't think I've actually gone to the other side of the world because I've been fighting my way through everything else. I find that quite fun. It's nice having so much variety of enemies to fight too. I think that's something that's kept me from burning out. So it's not all, if I start in Cafe, I'm only going to fight Cafeans type of thing. Why is my cat biting my finger? Stop it. But yeah, it's been hectic. It's been hectic. I don't think I've streamed like close to 60 to 70 hours more probably since the 12th. Like it's a lot.
Streaming times, a lot of them have been super duper crazy, for sure. I do want to agree very much with what you said about that. I really like that they did a really good job mixing up like who is where across the world. Like there's like, it is so nice how tastefully they just kind of dropped ogres like all over the place. Like it doesn't matter what continent you're on, you can find ogres. They are literally on every single continent in the game, which is awesome. They should be. But like it doesn't really matter where you play or like where your character starts and like what you're doing. There's like usually a really solid mix of factions just kind of like all over the little place.
Yeah. I just find it odd that they moved Scrog to pretty much where we're expecting Golfag Maneater in the future, really. Because that's a site of a big battle for him, isn't it, in lore?
Myrmidons? Maybe. Yeah. I mean, Goldfag's kind of been everywhere. Because I mean, that's definitely
in the Dogs of War book, he's mentioned there.
Oh, his older stuff, yeah, probably. I think, I mean, with his more modern stuff, they can literally put him literally anywhere, and he makes sense. Like there is no character I think in the setting other than like Nakai the Wanderer and Wulfric the Wanderer, just because they have those epithets, who has as much of a like can show up anywhere the hell he wants as Golfag Maneater.
Nakai's start is really fun. Like I just imagine, those like memes of derp facing, like Nakai's just there derping. Hi guys, I'm in Cafe now.
I almost feel like him being there was almost CA doing a meme of like, well, we can't do Snakemen, so have a big crocodile man instead. This is what you get for now. Just hang on. This is discount Snakemen of Koresh for the moment. he's He's kind of like a Naga, right? Um, but I love his start position. It is super fun. Because not a ton of characters have the ability to just like jump across the map instantly on like turn 1, but Nakai is one of them, and it's super fun. I love being able to just go to Lustria and Cathay on like turn 4. Just be doing whatever I want. So what campaigns among your playtime, what campaigns have kind of jumped out at you the most is like, this is really fun, like this is exceptionally fun?
Bellacore was quite good. My stream, I did 2 streams of Bellacore actually, which is weird because I normally just do one faction, move on to the next, you know. So total time we spent like 16 hours on Bellacore. The rifts make it interesting to launch invasions, especially if you can strategically find some allies on the other side of the world to get your vision of, or just send obviously an agent that way. So I think he's quite strong. Obviously, having access to all the demons pretty much at the start is really, really good because you can turn 1, get a 20 stack if you want it. You want to be able to afford it, but if you wanted it, it's there.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing a video about Bellacore pretty soon, in that like I like the direction they've gone in him, but I don't think they've gone far enough. I need more. I need more demons. He doesn't have enough demons for me. Did they get his corruption mechanic up and running?
Yeah, but it's kind of hard to trigger, essentially. I mean, you can get it easier with heroes, but the thing is that you have to wait a few turns after you tag an enemy. But in most cases, if you do it via battle, you're kind of killing the Lord anyway, aren't you? So it's a bit of an annoyance. Or if you tag them with a hero, I think you have to wait 5 turns. And within those 5 turns, considering how much is happening throughout the world, that Lord can die. So it's a bit odd. I've not really been able to trigger it really much. So much so that I didn't even have it on my Bellacore overview video. And I stated in the video, it's like, look, it's just kind of weird to trigger.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I've not really been using a lot of Demon Princes. Sometimes I do, but it's very situational. I've been kind of like, it's nice to have, but they look like Daniel, and it kind of makes me feel like it devalues Daniel a bit.
I mean, Daniel is ultimately a gimmick. That's like, it's just all he is. Not that that's like a bad thing. It's a very interesting gimmick. Like, and I've had people come into streams and stuff, and like there are people that still love it just because they're like, I really like having the ability to completely change the way my character looks and like what weapons they're wielding and all that stuff. And he's just literally the only way to do that right now.
Oh, someone's just said you need to wait 10 turns, I believe, if you do it with a hero action. It's like, lot can happen in 10 turns.
That's a long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost feel like it should be like maybe 3 turns if you beat him in a battle, and like 6 turns if you use a hero, maybe something like that. But anyway. Okay, so Bellacore, did any other campaigns kind of jump out at you?
Archeon is fucking strong as shit now, man.
Yeah, Archeon's insane.
He is the true ever chosen. He has redeemed the title because goddamn, every time you get a new vassal, you get 10 plus research rate, and it's so fast to get vassals. Even if you don't even have to get the Norskins. Like once you're getting the Norskins, you can beat down the minor Chaos Demon factions and get them to be your vassals too. I think by the time that we were done with Archeon, because I did a smaller stream yesterday, about 6 hours, I was on 200% research rate.
Yeah. Yeah. Archeon is pretty nuts. He's definitely like, him and Kolek are 2 characters that like, it does not matter who you're vassalizing. You just want as many vassals as possible. But with Archeon, it's your entire faction is essentially benefiting. Whereas with Kolek, you're just making Kolek just hilarious. But yeah, so you've been really enjoying the Warriors of Chaos, it sounds like.
I've been playing a lot of Warriors of Chaos because people have been asking. Today I might stream a little bit later, so I'm thinking of doing maybe a little bit of Skarsnik. Because Like I've literally just been doing chaos, 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 and chaos,
Mm.
mainly because, well, there was the update. Then obviously we've had the full mono god, mono dedicated style warriors. So I want to show them off because obviously they all have their own different play styles, and I obviously had to play as Zazel because
You're contractually obligated. Yeah.
yeah. But chaos is just, it's been interesting because what, there's like 50 new units in total.
Something like that. That sounds right.
Yeah, so there's been a lot to kind of show. I lean towards chaos in most cases when I play tabletop and stuff. So I've just been like, fuck it, let's check out this one, let's check out that one. There's been just so much going on too, really.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. I've been playing a different campaign every day just to try and show off like a different race
Yeah.
every day, which has been a lot of fun. But it's kind of shocking how like not far you can get with a long period of time. Like it takes a good few hours to get out of those like initial starting hangout spots. I think for me the campaigns that have really like I was shocked by how much I enjoyed. I'm doing a really big playthrough of Nakai tomorrow, but I haven't played him publicly yet or on stream yet. But I played him privately. But I had a blast with Nakai. He is super fun now, which is shocking.
Yeah,
Shocking to say the least.
It's the case that a little bit of updates just to really, because the Lizardmen didn't really get a big update, but they got stuff just to give them a little bit more, less soul sucky.
Yeah, it's definitely like I'm glad that they've mentioned that they're not done with them yet. Especially when it comes to the Great Warding or the Geomantic Web, because like the updates to it were nice, but they're still like pretty tame. And I know that they're gonna keep working on that, and hopefully they'll do something really exciting with it. But like Tehenwen's a lot better. Tehenwen is miles better. His new sacrificial pyramid is just like, ooh boy. Being able to just like flood myself with cheap blessed units is really fun. But beyond that, personally, I have been really enjoying games where I get to play in Lustria or Cathay. Like those are probably my two favorite land masses right now. Like Lustria has such a cool diverse group of factions where it's like you got greenskins, you got dark elves, high elves, you got demons all over the damn place.
Bretonia, for some reason.
Yeah, Bretonia is there because they're like, we're going back to, what was that White Dwarf published? Like 2001 or something.
Yeah.
Fifth edition. So I know it was probably before 2001. Actually, it's probably more like 2000 or 1998 or something. But
it was the fifth edition launch box, wasn't it? Brion.
Yeah. But so I love Brion. The only like my biggest criticism with Immortal Empires probably right now is that they barely added any new landmarks. I think I can count on one hand the amount of new landmark buildings.
Yeah, there's not a lot.
So
I mean, to be fair.
So hopefully we can get more in the future. But they have claimed in one of their blog posts that they are easy to do. So hopefully that means they will get off their butts and do a bunch of them here in the near future. But the Lizardmen I have found to be a really good time. I actually had a very, very good time playing a Zhao Ming campaign as well. Cathay is a lot of fun with all the new factions to kind of mess around with. Trying to think of anybody else that I played that really... I do agree with the Warriors of Chaos. I had a blast playing Archaon. I had a surprisingly good time playing Bellicor, even though I want to see it developed much more. I have a ball with Festus. Festus is just, oh my god, he's so fun.
He's gonna get nerfed for sure.
Oh yeah, well I don't mind him getting nerfed. His healing and is just, oh my god, it's so good. But
the damage is insane.
Then again, I actually don't know if he's really gonna get nerfed that bad, because in multiplayer he's not like god tier. Like he's good, but he's not like winning every game that he's in by any means of the imagination.
Someone stated on one of my streams that they saw another person play, and apparently Festus had like 500,000 damage done because of the AoE damage that he can do.
Hey man, I mean, if you could make it work, then make it work.
It's insane though. Like 500k is
Yeah,
it's
I
a
mean,
lot of damage.
yeah, it does. I mean, that sounds like he probably just stuck him in a slog fest, and for some reason was just not doing damage any other way. If the AI stuck around for that long, I'm not sure what he was doing to get that much damage, but I mean, yeah, he's fun, but he's also very like he's very slow, and it's very very centered purely around him. But yeah, a lot of the camp like Norska is notably improved. They're still not amazing, but they did get a really nice life injection. I've heard that I think I've heard that Legend of Total War is really enjoying Norska, which is
Yeah.
you know
No, Norska feels the Norska this small update that they got. I even played Norska, like holy crap. And Legend played Frog, right? Which is like unheard of.
yeah.
Like
Yeah, Throg used to be considered like one of the absolute worst campaigns in the game. And if Legend's playing it, you know that there's something happening there. Like
yeah.
something's interesting going on.
It's really curious. I mean, we're likely gonna have to. It's just nice that some stuff got updated before.
Well,
Like
and
they eventually get a rework.
yeah, and they have mentioned that a rework is still coming for Norska. This was literally just an injection of adrenaline or steroids or whatever you want to call it to keep them alive. But it did help a lot.
Less sucky.
Yeah, it did help a lot. Which is also great for Warriors of Chaos because you're going to be working with Norskins a lot. And basically, unless you're playing a Festus campaign, in which case you have to go out of your way to get Norskins. But
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Valkia is a lot of fun. Village is super trolly. I don't know how else to describe him. The ability to create chaos spawns in armies is one of the most hilarious abilities I've ever seen in the game.
I think it helps a lot. I'm loving Chaos Spawn lately. Like people have been like kind of memeing on chat because at some point I had like a 10 stack of Chaos Spawn running.
They're
like,
good though. Like they're really good.
Yeah,
They have a lot of really nice abilities. Like I think the only chaos spawn that are like not great, I guess, are the corn ones, but even the corn ones are decent. The Tzeentch and Slaanesh ones are just amazing though. Like unironically great. But yeah, I mean the map is gorgeous. I actually really like I'm very pleased how the new art style looks for the globe. It turned out really, really nice. There are a lot of little like nitpicks here and there, like lots of little like things that haven't been added yet from the prior games, or especially when it comes to like maps. And there's notable bugs here and there. There's like I've seen bugs like Bretonnian cavalry are all the same color instead of being the motley horde color, which is not great. That definitely needs to get fixed. I think dwarf thanes can't take character runes right now. I think the Galleon's graveyard doesn't have its unique map anymore at the moment. So like there are issues, but I haven't discovered anything game breaking, which is good.
I've only had 3-4 crashes really in sessions.
I think I've had 3 over the course of whenever we were allowed to start publicly showing footage, but I wasn't able to repeat any of them.
So I've just checked my recent activity and I've had 147 hours in the past 2 weeks.
Nuts.
It's fucking insane.
Yeah, and of course, it is a beta, so like all of this is expected. But I like it's not like a trash beta. It's not like some types of like early accesses you might see on Steam or something where like the game is like not even functioning. No, it overall functions pretty well.
It's Total War. We're expecting crashes and stuff anyway.
Yeah, I know. Like even if the game was like 100% like we've finished development and it's great, it's still gonna find ways to crash.
Yeah.
Let's see. Beyond that, is there any notable features or things that have really caught your attention that you're interested in chatting about?
Yeah. So, right. This would be quite an interesting thing. Have you noticed the AI, how they expand and stuff like that? Like, for example, I've seen Gauls do very, very well in the Darklands. I've seen the Lizardmen do very well in the Southlands, which I think is quite interesting. Like in terms of like just the AI, this is not me playing in those areas because sometimes I play without when I do my own personal campaigns. Sometimes I play with a Fog of War mod, so I can turn it off and
Yeah.
just see how everyone's doing.
your PC loves when you do that.
Oh yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah, I would. I mean, the only thing I haven't really gotten a lot into late game. I've been doing a lot of like jumping around to play every single character for like 20 to 100 turns, just to like look for issues and make sure everything's functioning the way it's supposed to. So I haven't really gotten to see like a lot of crazy late game. But from what I've seen, I think the biggest things that have jumped out at me is that it seems that like a lot of the northern factions, so like Kislev, Norska, and the Warriors of Chaos, and tend to do really, really well in the north. Like they tend to cut a swath through Kislev. I've also seen Be'lakor seems to do really well. In Lustria seems to be like a nice cluster mess. I would agree that the Southlands tends to seem pretty lizard favored, though I've noticed a lot of the demon factions are very tenacious. Like I haven't really seen Skarbrand, Kugoth, Nakari, or Kairos like expand that well, but they just don't die. Like they last forever. Though I have seen Ulthuan get its crap kicked in by Morathi teaming up with Nakari a few times.
Yeah, but that's really if they do it, because if they don't, Nakari
if they don't team up, then Nakari never gets past Yivris, and eventually gets worn down. I've also seen the Sword of Cain end up in some really exotic hands. Like I keep seeing Count Noctilus get it somehow, which is particularly amusing to me.
He goes because of the new placement of the Galleon's Graveyard, because have you noticed it's been moved up, right?
Yeah.
Compared to the Immortal Empires. He, from what I've seen from almost, I think it's like 30, 40 campaigns more or less that I've started and looked around. He always goes for like about 39 times, so like 95% of the time, he'll go straight to Ulthuan first.
Yeah, well, I mean, he starts like right next to Kalidor, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good though. I mean, it makes Ulthuan a very interesting battleground. Like, it's no longer just safe little peace land for the high elves to get all swole.
Yeah, it's quite a volatile place. Like, for example, if you decide to play as Nakari, which I've got a campaign going, you're so close to Bretonia that Bretonia also joins the fray against you. And if by some miracle because Musalon sometimes beats the Bretonians, because the stuff changing up to the vampires seems to have helped them a little bit, especially with the new recruitment style. They will also go and invade Ulthuan too, which I find quite funny.
Yeah, well, hey, that's great. Like, I'm really excited to see. Like overall, I've enjoyed the AI's like pathing and stuff. I've had a ton of people coming into streams and being like, "Do you feel like the AI is like a lot easier than it used to be?" Which is like, it's like, dude, I haven't played Warhammer 2 in like months. I don't have a point of reference that's very good for this.
I do see some passiveness sometimes. So apparently Legends kind of noticed it on Legendary. For the showcases, I normally do hard, so that way I can slow down time and do stop completely pause time just to showcase like the new looks and stuff. They seem to be more aggressive on hard than they have been on Legendary, which is a weird thing.
That's what I've been hearing. It hasn't really matched my personal experience.
Yeah.
Like, because I've been playing, I played hard for a little while. I switched up to Legendary for a lot of more recent campaigns, and like AI is pretty aggressive. Like we've gotten into some really nasty shit fights on Legendary. But yeah, I don't know. Like I almost feel like it's probably that the AI's like anti-player bias has been adjusted, and so because of that, maybe some people are feeling like, oh, the game the AI is not as aggressive because, I mean, that was one of the major complaints about Warhammer 3 was people being like, the anti-player bias is like so frustrating. And now we're hearing the opposite. People are saying the AI is not aggressive enough.
See, I've done most of the campaigns were hard. One I accidentally put into legendary because I was recording a video on it on legendary, and then I forgot to turn it back down for the new campaign. When it was hard, usually around a few hours in, it felt like this is Total War campaign where everyone just started declaring on me, and I had enemies on all sides. Whereas in legendary, it felt like it was a bit more passive. They didn't expand so much. I did not really have that much of a doorstop to deal with every now and then.
Maybe
they did run from me.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Is maybe on legendary, it's like, it's because a lot of my like oh god moments in legendary have been very like fairly early in the campaign. Like I've been dealing with a lot of aggression early on. But maybe it's that like once you get going, the AI just doesn't get as aggressive anymore. Compared to like hard, where maybe it's more of like a consistent level. Because like in my legendary campaigns, I'll traditionally have a faction that like in the first 10 to 20 turns just decides that it's gonna just slap me across the face as hard as it can. And I have like, it's been ugly. Like I'm talking like the AI building up multiple stacks and just like plowing through vulnerable areas. Like I tried to take I used my tech to fuse with Aquitaine when I was playing as Alberic, and the Fey Enchantress almost immediately declared war on me and just wiped me off the face of Bretonnia because I couldn't do anything about it. Or like I played Grombrindal and the Skaven brought over like 3 full stacks all traveling together to start fighting my settlements and stuff. Like it was aggressive. It was very aggressive. So I don't know, like maybe it's just there's like a certain point in legendary where if you get past that point, the AI backs off for some reason.
Well, what I did notice is that I'm not sure if this is intended or not. That's why, but your difficulties no longer change your unit values. So you know when you in Warhammer 2 when you play a legendary mode, they'd cost a bit more upkeep, right? That doesn't happen now. So I'm not sure if that's intended or it's because they've been fiddling around with stuff.
No, I mean, I wouldn't be hugely surprised if that was gone, because that was a very unpopular method of making the game harder.
Yeah, but this definitely makes the game easier, though.
Yeah, I mean,
easier.
Honestly, like I'm kind of like one thing I love about the new UI is the amount of customizable options for campaigns. Like I would really love to see like a maybe AI aggression slider, where like you can make the AI more or less aggressive towards you, the player, because it's like, hey, if you want it to be like this is Total War and everybody's just trying to kick your ass, slap that shit up there. Or if you want the AI to like almost, very heavily tend to their own business, slide it down, and maybe if you play legendary, it has to be maxed out, something like that.
And we know those values exist because that value, with how the AI kind of works, we knew this from Warhammer 3 when Realm of Chaos released, is called potential. So it would be nice if that had a slider, because I'd love to just like max out everyone's potential and see how much insanity we can get from this. Yeah,
that'd be really fun. Because one thing they seem to be finally kind of doing, which is really, really nice, is adding in more in-game scenarios and like higher difficulties. Which like, we've kind of heard that they're going to be working more on the future, though there's nothing really specific we can get into on that. But, with the new like end time scenario things, which are very fun, very, very fun. But, I would like to just see like the more they can allow people to customize their own experience, if you want to, the better. Like it's fine that a lot of these settings are kind of automatically set up, so you don't have to go in there and deal with that crap if you don't want to. But that's always kind of been one of I think the bigger demons for Total War Warhammer is that too much of the game is like hidden from the player. Like they don't let people under the hood nearly as much as they should. Like, I don't want us to end up like Stellaris, where you open the game and you're like, oh my god, like there's like a billion text boxes and I have no idea what any of this does. But
Oh yeah, you feel like you need a degree for it, don't you?
yeah, but you know, it could afford to be more sophisticated.
Mm. I think it's obviously like the player base. Like, there's obviously new players and stuff, but a lot of players have been in Total War for what, like it's been 30 years since 35 years since that first thing, or
Yeah,
something
well,
like that.
even like a lot of just the brand new Warhammer fan base, like it's been a while at this point.
7 years now.
Yeah, like we're coming up on a decade, so you know, that's a, you know, they're ready. They're ready.
But no, I mean, so far the battles are proving to be fun, and I'm having fun. That's the main thing, right?
Yeah,
Like,
well,
I'm having fun.
yeah, and I will say that it's very fun. I think that's I haven't heard anybody been able to say like, oh no, it's like total trash. Like there's something for everybody.
Yeah. I think a lot of people just want to play their favorite races again. That's the main thing, because I did ask last stream. It's like, oh, so who are you guys thinking of playing first? And it was nice seeing a lot
all
of
the old races.
yeah, loads of variety. It's like I saw Ghost, I saw Leon Leonka, I saw
Gorse.
just so many different.
Gorse has become like such a thing in my community, but it's like it's fun though. He's got a good campaign. He's got some really cool buffs.
People are so you can stop attacking my hand. People are excited. I think that's a good thing. It's nice to see people chatting again, you know?
What, you didn't like how things were like 3 months ago?
No. Like it was just too much. Like it's okay to be negative, but it was just way too much anger, and it was just killing off the mood for me to want to make videos.
No, things.
At one point, I was just thinking, fuck it, man. I might just like take a break, you know?
Yeah. Well, good times are rolling, which is really nice. But yeah, I mean, I don't overall, like, things are looking great. The sea lanes mechanic is really interesting. The AI cannot use it, which is the only like kind of unfortunate thing, is that the AI never uses teleport mechanics. But I do actually really enjoy the sea lanes. I'm really glad they added those. They're fun. I would love at some point to get a north to south thing in like the Realm of Chaos. Like, you know, an idea that I kind of talked about on my stream is like, hey, I just want the Realms of Chaos from the base game in Immortal Empires as an optional place you can go to just to enjoy like those maps and get some good fights and stuff. But thought of,
yeah, because right now we can only see those maps in quest battles, really.
Yeah, you can only get, you have to play one of the new 4 characters and they each get a single battle in those realms. But like, you don't get to enjoy the campaign map version, which is gorgeous. You also don't really get to enjoy any of the regular maps, but it's like, it'd be fun if they added them as just like optional, kind of like dungeons, kind of have like an RPG element, where like if you go to the South Pole or the North Pole, maybe you can like choose to teleport to the other one, so you have a north to south route, but there's also an option to go to one of the 4 realms of chaos, and you know, you can fight and get a lot of money and some cool items or stuff.
That'd be good, as long as they're always passively there, because one issue which I've noticed,
no, I think they should just stay turned on for like ever. It's just like, hey, you can go here and fight, have fun.
Because the turn on and turn off from Realm of Chaos is what kind of affected performance of the game.
Yeah, no, I would definitely want them to be like permanent rifts, and there's just like armies there that just roam around, like armies of demons and mortals that just run around and fight anybody that comes in. And if you get there, maybe it's like, hey, if you get, we'll spawn you here, and if you get to the end of the realm, you get a bunch of cool items and some money. Have fun.
And if you want a power level Scarbrand, just fuck off down south if there was a portal and just go to the realm of corn.
Please, as if he's not already power leveling, just smacking orcs and
he struggles. He fucking struggles. So Wurzag, because obviously Wurzag Savage Orcs all have magic attacks, right?
Yeah, Wurzag shuts him down really hard, which is hilarious.
It's amazing. I've seen it so many times where it's like, oh, I wonder what Scarbrand's doing. Turn off the fog of war. And it's just like, ooh, boy, you're getting shafted.
Yeah, It's lore accurate too. Like Wurzag is actually hilariously good at dealing with otherworldly threats. I love that about Wurzag. With the whole like building all the Southern Sentinels or all the statues and all that stuff, which is hilarious. But I love Savage Orcs. They're so funny. They're basically like, a lot of people don't realize this, but like whenever people come in, they're like, "Do y'all have 40k orcs in fantasy?" It's like, yes, they're Savage Orcs. The Savage Orcs are the 40k orcs. They're the orcs that are able to make things happen by believing in it hard enough.
I love Savage Orcs because it's just the ward save on the tabletop that you could get, and it's kind of represented here with the physical.
Lucky Shrunken Head, 5+ ward.
Yeah.
On a unit of 100 orcs.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane. I just love Savage Orcs in general. I really hope that we get a big stabber in the future just for the meme.
Dude,
just like a giant stick.
Okay, I want to. This is a thing I've been talking with my chat a lot, and I assume you'll agree, but I'll hear you out on it. Which is that after getting the Champions of Chaos DLC, I want that exact style, essentially, where it's like, oh, we'll give you like 4 of the kind of like sub factions within a faction we already have, get a lot of updates. Give me that crap for vampire counts, so we get the 4 bloodlines that are not von Karstein, and they all like get a new character and a bunch of stuff. And then give me that crap for the greenskins, where like I don't necessarily need a new legendary lord for all of them, but like flesh out all the units. Like give me, you get your Savage Orcs, get a bunch of new toys. Your goblins get a bunch of new toys. Your Black Orcs get new toys, and then I guess it could be Night Goblins and then Forest Goblins. So it's like we get the missing Night Goblin units, we get the missing Forest Goblin units, we get the missing Savage Orc units, and we get the missing Black Orc units. Call it a day. It'd be great.
Yeah, no, we did speak about this. We spoke about this on the last Lorebeards, and like imagine that for vampires, imagine that for orcs. Imagine that for Empire with it. Instead of going for the subcultures, instead of going for the subcultures, go for the churches.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I count that as a subculture. It's just a different kind of subculture, but yeah. That'd be sick. Yeah, to come out and be like, Ulrich more tall and
what's another big church?
I mean, we kind of already have Myrmidia rep, and I would rather save her for more Southern Realm type stuff. So like maybe.
Well, Tal and Ulrich are the big ones, and we're expecting Tal and Ulrichian units for Old World because the two of the big gods.
Moore's got a lot of junk. Manon.
Moore, yeah. Manon, yeah.
Manon, there we go. But yeah. I don't. I am really excited about the potential of new DLC types. As much as I love the Lord Packs of Game 1 and Game 2, they are so lame compared to the Champions of Chaos DLC. The Champions of Chaos DLC is like, so good.
I love Lord Packs. My issue with Lord Packs is they can be very one-sided.
Yeah, well, that's been my constant preach against them, is that name a Lord Pack that was actually balanced. There's one. I genuinely believe there's one Lord Pack that was actually even.
Which one?
The first one. It was really boring.
Was that King of the Warlord?
No, that was Grim in the Grave.
Fuck yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? Jeez. No, I'd say the King of the Warlord was also good, but then again, it didn't have anything special. Warlord and the Paunch, actually, a lot of people are saying in my chat here is quite balanced.
I would disagree. Eltharian's is not as well developed as Grom. And Eltharion, he peters out really hard mid-game because all of his functions just stop having an effect. You could still imprison people to get some buffs, but that system tends to be very buggy. And his city, once it's built, you literally cannot use any of his mechanics for any more buffs. Grom consistently is amazing and gets god tier buffs his entire campaign. Eltharion is significantly less good.
Silence and the Fury was good. The only problem is obviously there was a little bit of an issue with the Silence and the Fury,
Silence and the Fury. Sounds in the Fury, really? Like, it was all right. I thought the Lizardman side was kind of weak.
Well, it had to be one-sided for the Beastmen,
Yeah.
but like let's actually say, like, obviously Oxyodal is a really fucking fun campaign.
Oh yeah,
in general, right?
he's great, but I don't think he's like nearly as fun as Tarx is.
I have a lot of fun with Oxy. Like, I
He's
have
better
a lot
now.
of fun.
He's a lot better now.
Yeah, he is a lot better now. He's got a really good start position.
Have you enjoyed those hard level demon armies that show up?
Yeah, like
it's so scary when and you're just like, whoa, my god.
You have the PTSD that he had in the lore, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, but Oxiel is a lot better. I just don't think his units were nearly as good as Tarx's. Like the Quaddle is super buggy, and they also put a beak on it for some goddamn reason. Trog's pretty good. The Stalkers are all right. But like, Tarx got some like really meaty stuff.
Yeah, but to be fair, a lot of the development had to go to. Yeah,
which it needed to. It needed to. Like,
it desperately needed.
Yeah, like that. I totally agree. That one is like, I don't think that one should have been balanced. To be honest, that one needed to be weighted. When
a rework comes into effect, it's fine if it's unbalanced. If especially the races needed it, like the Wood Elf one with the Skaven. But even then, that was actually quite one-sided. It's just like Throt got a lot more in terms of uniqueness. However, the Wood Elf rework, I imagine, took a lot of time to fix it up.
Yeah, but I mean, in any event, like I am looking forward to whatever the next Lord pack is. I just hope they kind of keep it to be like relevant stuff. Like, it'd be nice if it's like, hey, if we're going to do a Lord pack, let's make sure the rivalry actually makes sense. And let's make sure that both armies are like getting cool stuff and that it's not just one army. Like, I don't want another like Prophet and the Warlock situation.
Yeah.
Or I mean, that's the best example that readily comes to my brain. Or like Malice and Snitch.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
Yeah. It's like where they're super wonky. Or Nakai and Wolfheart. Like, Nakai and Wolfheart was interesting, but the Empire side almost felt like they didn't really, like, they were like, we need to kind of get these units, but we're not really going to put anything that's like a really big eye popper in here.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, War Wagons.
Yeah, who the fuck thought War Wagons would be like this is the big thing for the Empire.
Yeah, it's like, what's your big unit? War Wagon with mortars? It's like, ugh. All right, I guess.
We're going back to 4th edition units that nobody used anyway.
Yeah, the unit that we literally replaced with the steam tank. But, all right, I guess. Celestial Hurricanum? No, all right.
No. That's for something else. That's
more knights.
Hopefully.
No.
Awesome knightly orders, no. But the War Wagon, yeah. That's it's a weird thing.
More
they
wizards.
Cool.
No.
I actually thought we were gonna get some wizards.
Yeah, I still fucking, when they revealed that the generic Lord was just another general, but he has a bow. I was just like, oh, come on, the Huntsman General. Really? Not the Wizard Lord? Not the Grand Master? Come on!
Everything that everyone else has been waiting for, but no, let's just go for that. Which is a weird thing. Mind you, it's nice to have a Sniper Lord, but in most cases...
Or no, like, my biggest complaint with it was that they gave us like, oh, we're going to give you like a Shooty Lord. And I was like, oh, so maybe we'll get like the Engineer as the generic hero. So we get a Shooty hero too. And then we just didn't get a hero. It was like, boo! Boo from the stands.
It's so weird because like I think out of everything in the Empire, I think the Engineer for me is like the most anticipated thing because I just love to see the mechanical horse.
I want the Pigeon Bomb. Give me the Pigeon Bomb.
But it has to. It can't be like a fucking. Like, it has to show the pigeon flying. And shoot it.
Well, like they did a really good job with the Doom Rocket for the Warlock Engineers. So like, I think they could pull up. Dude, if they actually got the Pigeon Bomb and it's like they literally just throw a pigeon, it just like erratically flies and blows up. That would be the best animation in the game.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Something so special.
Yeah, for anyone not aware, The pigeon bomb was an upgradable item, or it was, I think it was technically classified as a magic item, but it was an item you could take on an engineer hero, and like it, nothing magical about it. It was literally that he would just take a pigeon and attach a bomb to it, and he'd like light the fuse and just like throw the pigeon and hope it went towards the enemy, but it was super fucking random. So like there was a really good chance you were gonna hit your own units, but it was a hysterical like ability. I saw people used it a lot, despite the fact that it was not even remotely reliable.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of guns for Warhammer tabletop were just like, just pray, just fucking pray.
Yeah. Just hope, please God, don't roll the 1. Yeah, but anyway, but yeah, exciting times. Things are going great. Of course, everyone, by the time as we're recording this live, you all will have this game in your hands in 2 days.
Yeah, 2 days.
Which is pretty exciting. I don't know exactly what time they're going to release it. I think normally CA either does...
It's actually it was posted right before we went live.
Oh.
It is dropping, I can tell you right now. Okay. Come on. Ah, here we are. It is dropping at 3 p.m. BST, 4 p.m. CET, sorry, and then 7 a.m. PST and 10 a.m. EST.
Yep. So that'll be 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. So that's great. It's a really good time of day to drop it. It's a little weird to drop it on a Tuesday, but you know, whatever. Get it when you get it. So yeah, there you go. Though it is worth noting that Steam usually has weird hiccups when this kind of stuff goes live. So don't be surprised if that gets delayed a little bit.
Yeah, like half an hour or so. Patches are super strange.
Yeah, so don't be surprised if there's something a little wonky. But in any event, I think that's going to be it for today, unless there was anything else you wanted to chat about.
Let's do something, right? So we've been hitting it hard. What are you gonna do after launch? Are you gonna like take a break? Are you gonna have a little holiday?
Oh god,
because a lot of people do ask me this stuff on stream, because obviously we've been going full fucking ham, bro. Like we've not even been able to do Lorebeards.
Yeah, I don't think I've told you what I'm doing tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm doing, assuming it gets here today, tomorrow I'm going to be doing a cosplay stream of Nakai. So I'm going to dress up as a big alligator man. And the goal is, do you know what a subathon is?
Those to keep the stream going, right?
Yeah. So I'm going to do that, and it'll cap out at 24 hours. So potentially and probably a 24-hour stream. I don't know if I'll mentally make it that far, but I'm going to try my damnedest. And then after that, on the 23rd, I am not going to work. But the following week, I'm not sure. Like I'm having a blast with Immortal Empires, and I honestly feel like despite how much I've played it, I've barely touched it because I haven't like finished a campaign yet. So I really want to like start finishing some campaigns of the ones I'm really enjoying. Like I'm going to do Nakai, and then after Nakai, I don't know who I'm going to do next, but I'll probably do Archaon after that. Because I've been having a blast with him, but like I'm probably just gonna be playing some campaigns, but I do want to get back to some other games I need to finish, like The Witcher 3. So like I really want to get back to writing scripts. I have had literally zero time to work on scripts for like big lore videos, because like I've got like 5 in the works right now, which I'm really excited for, but I haven't had any time. I come on, I stream for as long as I can, and then I like spend some time with family, maybe spend some time with friends. I've been dealing a lot with my dog Chloe's health problems, so like, and then I sleep. That's literally all I've had time for. I haven't even been eating like 3 times a day lately. I've only been eating like twice or once a day.
Dude, I forgot to eat like at one point for 24 hours.
Yeah, so shit's wild right now, but like I definitely will not be doing like crazy streams. It'll probably be more like 2 hours a day to 4 hours a day at most, instead of like 6, 7, 8, 9 plus.
Yeah. So I myself, I'm not releasing a video today, because the video I have planned today, I'm actually releasing on Tuesday, because I kind of doubled the scope and scale of it. It's It's taken a lot of time to make sure everything works.
I'm gonna be shocked if your computer doesn't explode by the end of it, but yeah.
It's been surprising really well. It's been surprising very well. Obviously, you know what it is, but I'm not telling anyone here.
It'll be very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about that. Then, so that's going to drop on the 23rd. I'm taking a few days to relax, because I've not seen. I've basically been in contact with my family on WhatsApp. That's it. Like, I've not seen anyone. I've not seen. I've barely left the house.
Yeah, I know, dude. I haven't seen the sun in days.
Yeah. Like today, I've gone out to buy cat litter and cat food and stuff, but that's pretty much it. But like, so I'm taking a few days to myself. I'm gonna go on Friday. I'm going out for a few drinks with some buddies and like catching up over some steaks and stuff.
Good. Remind people you're still alive. Good.
Yeah, exactly. Because at one point I just did not look at my phone for like 2 days, and my best friend James, poor bastard, was like, "Do I have to go down to your house?" And then he realized that it was like, "Oh well, I'll check on YouTube, see if he's still alive." But like he got genuinely really, really, really worried. So I'm going to take a few days, and then when I'm back, I'm going to lower my stream schedule. I can't do every single day again because that's just like too brutal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it starts turning into a full-time job at that point.
Yeah. So I want to lower it a bit. Still keep on streaming like 3 times a week. I did ask my community, and they said 3 times is a bit healthy. Obviously, if anything new pops up, yeah, why not? But for this, like, I feel like I need a break. I need the sun. I need to go back to the gym. I need to see sunlight, man. I'm getting
Jim? Who's
pale.
Who's Jim?
I really need to get back there because I've lost muscle mass because of this, man.
My body's shriveling away. Maybe I'm thinking maybe next week, maybe you and I could look into live streaming a co-op or versus head-to-head campaign. And we could do that.
That would be really,
we could do that
fun.
every few days. They'll just be fun.
I had a lot of people asking me for that, and I kept telling them, I was like, look, right now our schedules are completely thrown off. Like we because we do talk.
Schedule, what's that?
Yeah. Like we've still been talking, we've still been DMing and stuff, but right now, like we have been so busy with 50 million things, and everyone's like, "Oh, you need to do a co-op with Sotek. You need to do a co-op with Sotek." Because believe me, we want to do a co-op. It's just there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done.
Yeah, do we want to do a co-op or a head-to-head?
Either way works. I mean, it gives us reasons to do both eventually, right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we can flip a coin.
Yeah.
Side. It's like head-to-head. Head-to-head would definitely be faster. but the new multiplayer co-op missions are actually much simpler and straightforward. Like you still have your personal missions, which is very, very nice. Like you can still achieve like single player victories. But they also just added like do something to 100 settlements and you're good. Which is actually not bad at all.
Yeah.
It's very good for people that want to play casually, which I really like.
Yeah. So obviously, it gives us reason, and we do have to collab more. To be honest, it's just like our schedules are shit. The time zone difference is always a bit of a bastard too, you know.
Yeah, 6 hours is rough.
Yeah, but like we still make time, so you know. And guys, I know that you've been missing Lorebeards. It's not like like we still want to do this. It's just like when an embargo
we hate
happens,
Lorebeards. This sucks. We get forced into it every week now.
No, yeah, because I got a lot of messages of why no Lorebeards during the embargo drops. It's like again. There's a lot of work to be done, but don't you worry. Like we're still on the ball.
Well, and it's like, you had a family, you had some family stuff. I had family stuff, like life, and Sunday is like just kind of one of the only days we get anymore.
Yeah,
and we're doing this shit. So, but no, it is very fun. I'm really glad we do this when we can.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm also looking forward to like having more time for tabletop shit. I have been really eager to finish some minis and to like start playing AOS again. I just don't have the fucking time right now. Don't have time at all.
I have an army to finish this year because at the start of the year I put the vote out of what army people wanted me to finish in a whole year, and Voldemort, being the sneaky little bastard that he is, retweeted the tweet and made everyone vote for Beastmen. So I actually had to build, paint, and do a full Beastmen army by the end of this year. So the embargo's kind of slowed that down. I've been finishing off some Bestigors recently from a little bit of time that I had whilst I waited for videos to render. but the army's almost done. I haven't showcased anything because I'm waiting for the literal last days of December. But it's going to be about 4,000 points of Beastmen, more or less.
That's really good.
It's just,
Very good.
I hate painting Beastmen. I fucking hate Beastmen with a passion, man.
Just
Fucking hate
skin and fur for days.
So much skin and fun and fur. But I've done something cool. I'll let you guys know. I have painted up a Gorgon as the Regiment of Renown that we see for the Tauros campaign.
Yeah, oh god, what the hell is it?
One, yeah.
I can't remember what he's called. The Slaughter Brute. No. What the hell is he called?
I think it's just called the Gorgon of Corn, right, or something like that.
No. Like, he is a Gorgon of Corn, but no, he has a name. I just can't remember what it is.
Yeah.
I love that he's a Regiment of Renown for the Corn campaign.
Yeah.
That being said, where's our corn corruption for Tarek CA? Come on. Oh, the Blood Brute Behemoth. Thank you. That's what it was.
Oh, that's a cool name.
Yeah, because I was like, I remember it like vaguely sounds like an AOS unit. Blood Brute Behemoth. That's what it is.
Yeah,
but,
he's the only one that looks really drastically different to the rest of my army, because everyone else is like a traditional beastman, and then I've got this red boy.
That's great. Yeah, man, I really hope we're gonna get Monogod Beastmen eventually.
I hope so.
They're another faction that could use one of those Champion of Chaos type DLCs. Though theirs could be a lot smaller because we just need like 1 or 2 units per thing. but in any event, I think we're good to call it. If you are, sir.
Yeah.
We've gone for about 2 hours, so solid.
Yeah, a good episode size, to be honest.
Yeah, considering that like we're both exhausted and we also like didn't. Well, we the next time we do Lorebeards, it'll be much more of a normal episode with like Tale 2 Gamers and who would win and all that other jazz. I don't know. Do you want to like pump out a very fast who would win?
Yeah, we can do. And guys, sorry about the Lorebeards thing. I've got a script running in the background, which means that I can't like go onto my. Essentially, this is why we've been like on just ourselves, and rather than going onto loads of websites and stuff like that. It's just everything will make sense on Tuesday.
It's fine. Chat, give me a who would win. I'm too lazy to look one up in the Discord.
Once you're doing that, I'm gonna go get a drink very, very quickly because I'm freaking I am dehydrated. It's hot as shit, man.
Michael Jackson versus Helman Gorst. Tempting. Malice versus Archaon, Gorst Nakai, Mazamuni Bellicor, Tedo Echo Moonclaw, Grimgor Gotrek, Natalia. Who the fuck is Natalia? Let's see. Egrim versus Village. Valkia versus Zhao Ming. Katerin versus Valkia. Ulrika versus Genevieve. No thanks. Emmerich versus Miao Ying. I don't think we can talk about that. We're gonna break TOS. Thankful versus Katerin. Obama versus Karl Franz. Tempting. Miao Ying versus Katerin. Kugoth versus Rodigus. Oh, that's kind of an interesting one. Well, I feel like that one's kind of one-sided, but I also want to make this like a fairly easy one, so we can like move on with our day. All right, so pick between these, Nathan. Your options are Dr. Festus versus Heinrich Kemmler. Gotrek Gurnison versus Scarbrand. Or Lokir Fellhart versus Alberic de Bordelot.
Oh, kind of good. Alfeda versus Bellicor.
Whose edge cuts the hardest?
How about Festus and Heinrich? I think that might be quite interesting.
All right, let's knock it out real quick. Why don't you talk up Dr. Festus? Tell people who he is. What's he been up to?
Right, so Festus the Leech Lord, a rather interesting character from the Warriors of Chaos book, who is devoted to Nurgle, a former doctor who in his desperation, reached out to pretty much anyone to give him some knowledge into how to fight back the, I can't remember the plague itself that was going around. Was that the Yeah, it was the gnashing fever, which was pretty much destroying most of the empire. And the only person who did answer was Nurgle himself. The knowledge was given to him, however, now he's completely mad and only wishes to spread plague. He's heavily mutated. He is not a demon prince. A lot of people keep getting that wrong for some reason. He is what we would be considering a demon king at this point, as he is very heavily blessed. And I think he does become a demon prince, or is attempting to become a demon prince.
He almost makes it. He doesn't quite make it.
Almost. But very durable character, as you can expect from a Nurgle character. Though on the tabletop, very shit stats. He only had toughness 4. Decent-ish wizard in the lore of Nurgle, as you can expect. He's got regeneration. He's got poison attacks. He's able to do a lot of damage in general. He's got access to a lot of potions, which, as you can expect, spreads plague. And well, that's why you see it. So that's why he takes these plague mechanic in Total War Warhammer 3. Really? I just keep looking at toughness 4. I thought he had toughness 6 on the tabletop. That's really weird.
No, God, no. Yeah, no. He was, but I mean, he was pretty cheap. Like, he wasn't that expensive.
Yeah. Still, right? Like, you expect him to be a bit more durable than a plague monk, right?
Yeah, but I mean, he's got regen. I mean, that's that's pretty nice.
Yeah, regen 5 up. And all models in that unit actually had the same regen, which is pretty tasty. Yeah. So don't let my complaining there ruin it for you guys. But in general, very, very fast, very slow. Sorry, not fast, slow. Slow character, very durable, able to do damage. A lot of people seem to think that Nurgle characters aren't able to hit as well, but they can. And, you just feel bad for him. I think this is why he's such a very popular character.
Oh, I love, he's like one of the best representations of Nurgle. Because, like, he's, like, it's despair. Like, it's a perfect representation of what makes Nurgle so good.
Exactly. It's just, like, when the Chaos character falls in a sad way, it's more relatable for people, which is why I think Festus is so nice. But he doesn't really have access to that many special weapons, does he? He doesn't have access to.
No, he really just kind of has his pestilential potions. He doesn't even carry a weapon, really. Like, I think he's got like his doctor's meat cleaver or whatever the hell it was, or his bone saw. But other than that, he doesn't actually carry a weapon.
Yeah, and even then, it just further adds to his regeneration in most cases. It's rather interesting.
He is very tanky. He can heal a lot.
Yeah. I mean, we've got that shown off in Warhammer 3 too. But he's a very, very cool character.
Yep.
And then obviously, like, would have loved to see how he would have. Well, he was empowered in the end times, but
yeah. Well, we're not going to use that version. That version is a little more boosted. But and then in the opposite corner, we've got the one and only Heinrich Kemmler. So one of the probably the most powerful living necromancers that are still alive. He's up there. He's definitely more powerful than Dieter Hellschnitt, though Dieter Hellschnitt does, of course, have a Manticore to rely on. But Kemmler, much like Hellschnitt, is a very interesting character in that he combines a lot of the powers of necromancy with the powers of chaos. Because Kemmler and Hellschnitt both actually come from a day when the two of those used to be very similar powers. If you go back to an older editions, Chaos and Undeath used to be much more intermixed. But in any event, Heinrich Kemmler is a very, very powerful necromancer. He's one of the most studied that is still alive, and he is hundreds of years old. He knows a lot of different spells. He's a very, very powerful wizard, and he's got a pretty nice assortment of magic items. He, of course, has the Chaos Tomb Blade, which is a blade that he stole apparently from Krell's tomb, supposedly, and it actually gives him some pretty nice powers. Generally speaking, it's not going to help him a ton in this duel, but it basically allows him that whenever he strikes somebody down, he's able to either immediately reanimate their corpse or to steal the life force for himself. He also has the Skull Staff, which the Skull Staff is a very convenient item. It's also like super creepy. But it's like a little bird looking skull on top of this creepy staff with bat wings, but it actually talks to him. The Skull Staff actually chatters. It like moves up and down and makes this really obnoxious noise, but it speaks, and it warns Kemmler about other people casting spells in his vicinity. So it's basically constantly like warning him about impending threats, and it allows him to get the jump on people because they think they're casting a spell and will be able to surprise him with it, but the Skull Staff is actually telling him what's happening and how to stop it. So he's actually a surprisingly competent magical duelist. And then last but certainly not least, he has the Cloak of Mist and Shadows, which allows him to turn himself into mist and shadows every once in a while, which makes him functionally into a ghost. He's able to move very, very quickly, becoming mist on the wind, so he's practically impossible to hit unless you're blasting him with something heavily magical, and he can spirit from place to place very quickly, which is great for repositioning. For the sake of Who Would Wins, we're not going to allow him to bring Krell into the party, but he does have the ability to summon corpses using his Raise Dead spell if he would like. So he can get a couple of minions on the battlefield quickly if he needs to. But that is the matchup. So we've got Dr. Festus versus Heinrich Kemmler. Nathan, what are your thoughts?
Well, first up, is he going to fly or is he going to be ethereal? Because you had to choose.
I would say for the sake of this battle, we're going to go with ethereal, because him flying is more of a like annoying thing to deal with.
It was a really weird rule. I mean, I get it, but like he was always better as ethereal anyway.
Yeah, it was all right. Like flying is really nice if you have to reposition very, very suddenly. Like, you know, hypothetically, I guess if like he was in a shit moment with Festus, he could try using it to fly away. But generally speaking, I think ethereal does better for him.
Yeah. So it's going to be quite tough. I mean, the Lore of Nurgle is actually pretty decent in general. The Lore of Vampires is pretty good too. So you've got a pretty even matchup in general with the spells. And really, the only way that Festus will be able to damage Kemmler is through magic in that case. But he doesn't have magical attacks, does he?
I don't think so. He has poison attacks though. I mean, if he can get a hold of Kemmler, he can definitely like hurt him and slow him down.
Yeah.
Do his pestilent potions count as a magical attack?
I'm checking the book right. Because it is a very interesting matchup if you look at it that way, isn't it?
Yeah, because if those potions would allow him to hit Kemmler despite the Cloak of Mist and Shadows, that would be a game changer.
No armor saves allowed. I don't think it counts as magical.
Interesting.
You'd think the potions would count as magical, wouldn't you? Let me see.
I mean, they're a magical item though, aren't they? Or are they just a special rule?
Special rule, no magical item.
Oh, interesting. So yeah. I was gonna say
no, magic item, yeah.
Ah, yeah, if they're a magic item, then they deal magic damage. I'm pretty sure that's the case.
Yeah.
Like I think if it's listed as a magic item, it has to deal magic damage.
Poison attacks in general are counted as magical attacks, aren't they?
No, not in 7th or 8th at least.
It's going to be very, very close. I think obviously Kemmler being able to summon in some monsters should be there to be his benefit.
Zombies and skeletons, nothing too big.
Did he not have creatures of the night?
Not in modern stuff. I mean, he calls a Terrorgeist to him in one of the stories, but I'm not gonna. I don't think for the sake of a Who Would Win, he should have the ability to summon a big FU monster. Yeah, unless that's an explicit ability of his, but I don't believe that was the case in more modern stuff.
No, he can't. So yeah, just zombies and skeletons.
Yeah, he'd have to have the lore of undeath to bring anything bigger.
Yeah. The zombies could definitely bog down Festus, but I think Festus would be able to do a lot of damage and start slapping his way through there. The only thing is there's certain spells within the Lore of Vampires which can make zombies extremely terrifying.
True, but Festus is like the god of healing.
Yeah.
Like any damage those guys are going to do to him, he could shake off, I think, hilariously easy.
It's I don't know. It's actually really, 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 really tough.
Don't forget to run a poll for your chat.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now. It's just I forgot to do it because, you know, me.
Yeah, but some of the things that I'm kind of thinking is like, so Festus does not have very good gap closing. He would definitely, I think, struggle to catch Kemmler, who could even if the skeletons or zombies are not doing anything damage-wise, they are going to be good for slowing Festus down. So honestly, I think it kind of comes down to what spells they're going to throw at each other. Where it's like with Kemmler, you've got Gaze of Nagash, you've got oh god, what's the dust spell that's like super nasty? My brain's telling me Hand of Dust, but I know that's wrong.
No, Hand of Dust was a thing. Right, so we got Raise Dead, Dance Macabre, Hellish Vigor, Gaze of Nagash, Curse of Years.
Curse of Years, that's what I was thinking of.
And Wind of Death, which would probably be very useless here. Obviously, he's also got access to Invocation in the Hack. That's the thing. He could Raise Dead and then just keep going Invocation, 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 Invocation. You could essentially bog down Festus to the point that he just can't move.
True, and then just focus on using like Curse of Years to just wear him down. Because Curse of Years, even against Festus, it would be pretty okay. Like it's you know, it literally just ages you super fast and slowly turns you to dust.
Yeah,
regenerating from that is not the easiest, but you know, maybe Festus's potions would allow him to kind of counteract those effects.
Yeah, I'm just getting the Lore of Nurgle up and running here. Because there's so many options. That's the thing.
Yeah, it is also worth noting that Kemmler he's a bit of a better wizard than Festus is. Not a massive amount better, but he's noticeably better.
Yeah.
And Kemmler does have the Skull Staff, which is designed to counter enemy spells. So
yeah.
he is a fair bit better equipped for a magic duel.
I think. This is the thing, because if he lands a Rancid Visitations, he could do a lot of damage to Kemmler. Because that spell is...
Yeah, Rancid Visitations is brutal if you get slapped with it.
Because it's... Jeez. Like, it's much stronger in tabletop than it is in Total War, that's for sure. You could essentially just one-shot characters if they had low toughness. I don't know. I think I'm going to have to go with Heinrich. I think Heinrich, he can be able to summon in, because I've seen good Necromancer plays on tabletop, you know, where you just summon in some guys and then go with constant invocation, 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 and just keep your enemy bogged down. I think it's a good way to keep wearing down the foe, whereas, you know, poison attacks would be relatively... Like, it'd still do damage against zombies, but not really, you know?
Yeah. Well,
So
like, he could kill them, but he's not going to be killing them super quickly.
Yeah. So I think that's something that would be done there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Normally, I always pick the contrarian opinion, but on this particular occasion, I do agree. I actually think Dr. Festus is a good bit out of his depth against Heinrich Kemmler. I think if it was Festus empowered from the end times, that would probably be a more fair fight. But like Kemmler, like on just flat out being a better wizard already puts Festus in a really bad spot. But then he also has the Skull Staff, which is just going to make any spell Festus throws at him virtually pointless. And if Festus doesn't have a spell, like if Festus can't hit him with magic, he's got nothing. Like the Cloak of Mist and Shadows has just totally decided that fight. Like, you know, Festus, he just doesn't have any kind of magic. Like the only way I could see him killing Kemmler is if he managed to get close enough that he could grab Kemmler and hit him with one of his potions. That would near instantly wipe out Kemmler, because his potions are nasty. But I don't think he'd ever get that close to Kemmler.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's a really interesting matchup.
Yeah.
But it's also very, very, very different.
Just for shits and giggles, I'm going to get out Festus Empowered just because I'm curious how much stronger he got.
Yeah, that would actually be a good... I think maybe Empowered he can take on Heinrich. Maybe. Because then he'd have access to Summon Infernal Legions, which would then make him a lot fucking stronger.
He could summon demons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think you were thinking of Festus when you were reading your stuff. Yeah, so he literally turns the environment around him, starts turning it into the Garden of Nurgle. so he makes like the land around him more dangerous and alive. He also is poisonous. He has healings. He also has the ability to he's also just way tougher. Yeah, so this is the weapon skill 5, toughness 5, 3 wounds 5 initiative version.
See, that's what would be better. Toughness 5 on vanilla would have been fucking great. Mind you, yes, he was a hero, but like it does help.
Yeah,
right?
and
it does make sense.
like here he's even a notably stronger wizard in this version too. So he's a so here he's a lord version. So this would have put him on par with Kemmler. Because this would makes him a level 3 wizard instead of level 2. So he's a much better caster. He gets, he's notably, like, zombies and skeletons would not stand a chance against him, and he'd be able to summon in his own demons to help out.
Yeah.
So most of my chat, though it actually was pretty well split, like a good like I think good 32-ish% went with Festus. But yeah, if it was Festus empowered, I think I personally would still give it to Kemmler, but it would be very close.
I got 76% for Kemmler. It kind of makes sense because, like, yeah, if he was empowered, it'd definitely be a lot closer. Because the way, if people didn't play the end times, which the rules were very favorable to Chaos factions and even Skaven, because
that's an understatement.
Yeah, like even in the last book, the Skaven Greyseers got access to summon the Infernal Legions. You could summon not just basic bitch demons, like you could keep making it stronger and summon in some big boys.
Well, yeah, and plus, like, all of Chaos was a single faction.
Yeah.
Literally, beastmen, demons, Skaven, warriors, all the same race as far as they were concerned. It was nuts.
Absolutely fucking insane. Absolutely fucking insane. But yeah, I think we are now done. It's been a really good episode, hasn't it?
Yeah. So thanks everyone so much for joining us. We hope you had a good time. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap us up here, and then we'll do all our little things. But thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.